E. Martin in the house. E. Martin in the house. I'm with my three of my four crazy daughters. There's Shy. Say hey, what's up, Shy? All right, Jasmine. What up, baby girl? And Z Low in his house. All right, so I'm turning it, and this is their dad. I don't know how this is gonna work out, but anyway, we are at the Cheesecake Factory, putting it in, and I don't get to hang out with these sisters too often because they all grown now, and they don't like hanging out with me like they did when they was little.
That is not true.
So
that is not the reason.
That's not the reason.
Do not be lying to the internet like that.
Y'all ain't grown.
Well, we
It's
are
not
grown,
true.
but not too
Y'all-
grown for you.
Not too grown for your dad. All right, well, that makes me feel better. All right, we gonna put it away though, ladies? We gonna put it in? All right. I love you all, and I just wanted to holler at you. Peace.
Good morning, Millennials and Gen Z. This is Ephraim B. Martin. I am 59 years of age, and I am a father. I'm a girl dad of 4 adult daughters. Welcome to another live stream, Sharing My Wisdom podcast with Uncle E. Welcome back, Millennials and Gen Z. Hope you guys are all doing well. And I've been keeping you in my daily prayers. So we have another podcast today, another live stream, Millennials. And what I like to discuss is living and struggling in today's economy. Okay. Now, before we get into that, what I would like to do is I want to show you something first. Last week, I had attempted to show you the 23 ebooks that I've written and where you could go purchase them through my YouTube channel. For whatever reason, I don't know what I did, but I didn't click it over to where it got recorded. So I want to take a couple minutes so I could show you exactly where my ebooks are located. They're available through my my YouTube channel. There's a direct link under the description. Okay, so let me go to that before we even jump into this, Millennials and Gen Z. Let me do this real quick. Okay, that's that. Let's see. Okay. So this is my Share My Wisdom podcast YouTube channel. And I'm going to take you through. So as you can see here, all you'd have to do is click on more. And you see there's links here. There's my Daddy's Girls YouTube channel. There's Too Legit to Quit Fitness YouTube channel. My Daddy's Girls book, which is available at Amazon.com. Share My Wisdom podcast. Ebooks and Daddy's Girls digital ebooks. So I'm going to click on Share My Wisdom podcast ebooks. Okay, so let me make sure that came up. Okay, which it did. And let me go back to that. Okay, so let me make sure that I'm on the right tab. All right, that's what I wanted to see. So let me blow that up a little bit so I can see it on my screen. Okay. So you can see I have 23 ebooks that are in conjunction with my Share My Wisdom YouTube, Share My Wisdom podcast with Uncle E. And I just want to go through them real quick so you could check them out, okay? I have 23 individual ebooks, which are sold for $7 a piece. Okay. These are all of them. We're going to take a look at all of them, but these are my ebooks. So I also have Daddy's Girls, a father's how-to in building lifelong relationships with our daughters. This particular book is referencing my Grow Dad YouTube channel. So this ebook is not included with the other 22. So there's 23 total with this one. And then you could purchase 22 of my 23 ebooks for $100. So you could do them individually, or you could purchase all 22 of them for $100. Okay. So let's take a look at them, Millennials and Gen Z. Okay. I want to make sure I'm still on that right tab. Okay. Which I am. Good. Okay, my first ebook is called Skill Set, Controlling Your Economics. Okay, this is me. Uncle E Share My Wisdom podcast. Okay, let's see. The next one is called Solutions. Life Isn't Fair. So we'll go top to bottom on that. Okay. The next one after that is My Fitness Journey. I'm a fitness and wellness trainer. And My Fitness Journey, what it takes to maintain your overall wellness. Okay. So that's an ebook as well. Another ebook is Traveling the World Will Open Your Mind. Free Thinkers Are Better Humans. Okay, that's an ebook as well. Let's see. Getting a college degree is never a mistake. Education will set you free. That's an ebook. Okay, that's the cover for that one. Let's see, next one. Keeping It Real. I like this. It's kind of cool. Sweet hand. Keeping It Real. Who cares about your feelings? Uncle E Share My Wisdom podcast. Okay, next one. You Must Always Grind. My labor will be rewarded. Uncle E Share My Wisdom podcast. And this is that ebook. Okay. See this next one. Mi Familia in 1965. It's not in Spanish, it's in English. Okay. Just so you know, Mi Familia means my family. In English, my family in 1965. And this is me, the baby, sitting on my mother, my father, my siblings. And this is me, the baby, sitting on my father's lap. This is 1966, I believe. But my father was murdered in 1968. So I was almost 3 years of age. But this is before my father was murdered. This is my family, okay? That's ebook. The Blessings of Being a Parent and Parenting. My Children Saved My Life. That's an ebook. Let's see. Next one. Realistic Life Expectations. Living in the Moment. That's an ebook. Let's see the next one. Life is Sustainable. Passion is the Key to Life. Uncle E Share My Wisdom podcast. Okay. That's another ebook. Let's see. I Said What I Said. Keep It Moving. That's another ebook. Okay. It Matters How You Leave. Never Burn Bridges. That's another ebook. Okay. Let's see. Next one. Giving Back. The Humanity of It. Selflessness is Required. That's another ebook. Uncle E Share My Wisdom podcast. All right. Let's see. Next one is I Am Not a Victim. Mental Toughness in Darkest Times. That's another ebook. Okay. Next one. Living Within Your Means. The Benefits of Having Budgets. Okay. That's another ebook. You Ain't Said a Damn Thing that makes sense. All advice is not good advice. That's another ebook. Okay. Next one. Millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha. The World is Yours. That's another ebook. Okay, let's see. Next one. It Matters What You Answer To. What is your government name? That is another ebook. Okay, next one. Uncle E Sharing My Wisdom with the Younger Generations. Uncle E Sharing My Wisdom podcast. This is the cover to that one. These are my 4 adult daughters. They're adults now. This is when they were little, but they're adults now. That's another ebook. Old School versus New School. We Must Learn from Each Other. That's another ebook. The United States Military, an Option for Employment. I Am a USMC Veteran. That's another ebook. And let's see, we should be getting towards the end. Okay, so that was the end of it. Yes. Okay, I just want to share that with you because I meant to last week. I don't know what I did. I was tripping, I guess. But just want to bring it up to you. So you can see that, let me pull this up. Okay, back. I just want to share that with you so you could see my ebooks, and I will be using them in conjunction with doing my live streams. And I'm actually going to be doing live streams on some of my ebooks, along with many, many, many topics, millennials and Gen Z. So give me a second here. I need to go back to my YouTube channel. I need to be able to, I got to upload let me get this ready. I got to upload a video, but I need to go in. I have it in private, so I need to unlock it. I'm sorry, Millennials and Gen Z. Give me a second here. Let me go into my account so I can do this behind the scenes. Okay, give me a second here. I'm sorry. Should have had it ready. Okay, so okay, beautiful. There we go. Let me just get this. Let me get this up, and then we'll continue. Sorry about this. Let me see here. Hold on. Okay, where's that video at? Manage videos. Okay. Let me bring it up. Let me see. Okay, so that's what I needed. Right. Okay, let me see. Okay, so living and struggling in today's economy, millennials and Gen Z. It's a discussion I want to share my wisdom on with you, and I'm going to be using videos from social media, from TikTok. To me, I love social media. I'm on the front end of social media, so I stay current. And what I love about social media is the ability for me when I'm doing research. TikTok is a library of education for me. It amazes me how many young people, or how, just people in general, they share their lives on TikTok. They're comfortable with sharing their lives on TikTok. Way braver than I would ever be. I just believe in privacy, and I just think in today's world, you got to be careful what you share, right? Because once you put it out there, it no longer belongs to you, millennials and Gen Z. So living and struggling in today's economy, I know a lot of you feel like it's a huge struggle living day to day, right? And a lot of millennials and Gen Z, you express it, you talk about it, and you're just frustrated. You want to give up a lot of times. And, this is where I want to come in as an elder to share my wisdom with you and help you understand that you have to make it through the economy. There's just no other way around it, right? And we're going to go into a little bit further discussion after we watch this video that I want to share with you. And, like I said, I've been through, since 1965, I've lived through 7 recessions, right? I've lived through the AIDS epidemic. I've lived through the crack epidemic in the 1990s. The AIDS epidemic happened in the late 70s, early 80s, right? That was huge. Crack epidemic happened in the 90s, along with opiate epidemic as well. And the economies during those times, it wasn't always good. I remember going through the housing crisis the first one I can remember was in 1997. I had purchased, me and my wife at the time, we had purchased ourselves our first house in 1993. I remember purchasing my first house for $53,000. Those days are long and gone. It's not going to happen. Long and gone, because the economy has changed. Let me just give you a little bit of background about my education. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and economics, and I worked in the criminal justice system for 20 years, and I worked in K-12 education for 10 years. I'm a former state of Colorado juvenile probation officer, and also a former teacher and dean of students and restorative justice coordinator. So the 7 recessions that I can remember, well, I can remember about 5, but the recessions that I remember going through them, there's always recovery, millennials and Gen Z. And I don't compare generations. I'm Gen X. I grew up in a totally different time than what you grew up in. So it's not fair for me to try to compare generations, and it's not fair for you in today's world to try to fall back on what it used to be in my generation, because those days are gone. The way I've always lived my life is I've lived my life in years of 5s, right? Every 5 years, I've expected something to happen in the economy, and I've never been wrong with that. So when I graduated college in 1993, purchased our first home. I owned 3 homes after that. Purchased another home, sold that one, purchased another home in 1997. Then we sold that one a year later, and then purchased our last home in 1998. So, the economy was different. Each time that I sold our homes, we sold our home, we were in a buyer's market. It was always a buyer's market. It was never a seller's market. So buyers, there was unlimited supply of homes, and that's just not the case today. And that's because the economy has changed and will always change. You're dealing with technology. You're dealing with more people living in the United States. There were not 340 million people living in the United States back in the day. There was 150 million. And now we're at 340 million. So you're talking about almost 200 more million people, right? So the demand for housing, the supply hasn't kept up with the demand. So that's one of the biggest issues, and the pain that a lot of you millennials and Gen Z are feeling. So I completely understand it. I completely understand it, and I'm feeling it with you, right? So I just want to take a look at this video that I made from TikTok. Like I said, for me, TikTok is a wealth of information and free education. So I take what humans are giving me, and I'm going to use it to my advantage and share with the world, okay? So millennials and Gen Z, let's take a look at this video, and then I'll give you some of my wisdom after the video's over. And as far as solutions, because here at Share My Wisdom podcast with Uncle E, I'm all about solutions. 100%. I'm all about solutions. And I want to help you understand the why. Okay? So let me get this, give me a second here. Let me get this set up. Okay, let's see here. So that's there. Okay, let me go to my presents. Let me share my screen. Okay, make that. Make sure it's ready. There you go. That's it. Okay. So this is the video that I made from TikTok. It's about 16 minutes long, millennials and Gen Z. So let's get into it and check it out.
Have you seen the video of the person saying, if my checkings account balance goes below 4,000, then there's something up. I'm starting to panic. If you saw the comments, it shows you a lot of people are struggling. Not only that, we're all just trying to figure it out. If you're 18, 25, 30, 35, we're all just trying to figure this shit out. Now, everybody pay attention. Any woman that says to me, oh, I'm not down to go 50-50 for about 2 to 3 years so we can all just stack up, you're an enemy of progress. No, like, listen. this economy is the worst it's ever been. Like, we are in the worst times economically. And you say, nah, you got to go 100 and 0, literally go to fucking hell. Do you know how much it costs to get a single family house in the US? Around $300,000 to $500,000. And you're telling me you're not willing to go 50-50 so we can get an asset? Okay, what I want you to do is go to your nearest Walmart, buy Clorox bleach and drink it. TikTok's packing up in 6 to 8 months. Make sure you're following me on Instagram.
So this is not to be pessimistic. I'm just a realist. But do not feel bad for doing what you have to do in this economy. I've been seeing people post about how they had to give up their new car or how they had to go back to a 9-to-5 after doing entrepreneurship, move back in with their parents. And I know that it sucks. I just wanted to stress to you that it's not your fault. It's really the economy. As a millennial who lived through pre-pandemic and then now, it was totally different. Yes, I was able to pay off my car, but my car note was $300 a month. It was only $16,000 for a brand new car at that time. You can't find a brand new car for that price anywhere. Another thing too, when I was paying rent, it was $800 back in 2017, 2018. And that was for a 3-bedroom. That same apartment right now is $1,400 a month for a 1-bedroom. House prices, I could literally write an essay. I could write a book. The interest rates, of course, were way lower, but the house prices were not crazy. I bought my house for $165,000. The houses in my neighborhood right now are going for almost $300K, which is crazy. I say all that to say you can't take accountability for things that are just simply not your fault. Jobs are not paying that much. The economy is going up. Eggs are $31. So when it comes to doing what you have to do to survive in this economy, do not feel bad. It's just a sacrifice.
This economy is really starting to piss me off. My husband and I, we have done good for so long. So long. I struggled in the beginning when my kids were little. I went to nursing school. My husband has a good job. We were doing good. Now I can't even pay my bills. I'm sick of this. I am sick of this. Spent $500 on groceries yesterday at Walmart again. Like, what in the world? I'm so sick of this. I'm gonna have to get another freaking job. What are y'all doing to help get through this? Because I am sick of it. I am not used to being this broke and I don't like it. And I did all the things to get me out of where I was when I was younger.
I got a serious question. How is everyone surviving right now? Like, truly financially surviving. You know, my husband and I are very lucky. We make decent money. We don't have car payments. You know, our vehicles are paid off. We don't have a mortgage. Our house is paid off. So all we're responsible for is the homeowner's insurance and property taxes. And we're very, very lucky. And we don't live outside of our means. However, all of the other things just seem to be piling up more and more and more each day. I mean, for Christ's sake, we pay more in health insurance than most people pay for a mortgage. I just don't see how this is fair or how anybody else is surviving this. Because let alone with those prices going up, you have medical prices going up, you have groceries going up, you have electric bills going up. I mean, you have daycare going up. Like, when is enough enough? Like, how is everyone doing this? Please let me know how you are surviving, because I would love to know. If you would have told me 5 years ago that we would be in the situation that we're in and making decent money, but yet we were not striving and thriving, we were just totally trying to survive, I would have told you you were crazy. I would have not believed any word that you said. So my question to you is, how are you doing it? Please let me know in the comments, because I would like to get somebody else's opinions on this.
Life in 2024 is a financial emergency. Our groceries are an emergency. Our rent is an emergency. Everything is an emergency. I cannot afford to spend every last penny that I have on my debts, because what I really can't afford is to not have a savings account and not have money in my bank account for when I need to pay for things and when emergencies are more than likely going to arise. I have spent so many years of my life paying off my debt, stressing over debt, that now I just laugh at. Like, somebody commented on one of my videos yesterday about how they spent $12 on grapes. $12 on grapes. Like, we live in such a ridiculous timeline that I just no longer can take debt as seriously as I once did. And looking back, I really wish that I could have not spent all of that money on debt. I really just walked myself into more and more debt every single time. Cars breaking down and oral surgeries, I have been there. I don't think I've ever paid for a car repair with a debit card. It's always come out of my credit cards. And then it just like is a catalyst for more and more debt. No more, no more. The debt for right now during this crazy timeline is getting the minimum payments so that I have as much as I need in my spending account for all of the crazy emergencies that are happening on a daily basis at this point.
Once again, the corporate monsters have played in y'all face and y'all keep filling out these job applications. Sephora just hit $10 billion in revenue last year. All they gave the hardworking employees were stale cookies. Now, this is continuously being a problem of companies making a lot of money and not giving their employees everything. My advice to you is to stop filling out these job applications. I know that life is getting hard and y'all need more money, additional streams of income. But if you could fill out a job application, you could fill out a grant application. Grants are debt-free funding that you could win for your business that you never have to pay back. All you need to have is an idea, and they will fund you money to get that idea off the ground and to get it popping. We did $17 million in grants last year for ourselves and our clients, and I would love to help you guys get started with getting grants for your business or your idea. I put together a list of 650 grants that we have won. All you have to do is comment list below, get the list, and start applying. It's as easy as a job application.
I just want to get on here real quick and say that living in 2024, if you didn't or if you weren't already employed, good luck trying to find somewhere to employ you, because it seems like all of these jobs are just like faking their positions or whatever. Because I've applied to numerous amounts of places, did a whole look over on my resume and everything, and still nothing, no callback. I even called directly, and it's like nothing. It's so hard. And I'm gonna like reveal a little bit stuff about myself, what I'm going through. Like, my mental state is not great at all right now. I barely sleep. My depression is like in the clinical status, I feel like, and my anxiety as of lately is huge, because I think, like a lot of Americans, I'm worried about eviction. And I'm fortunate enough to live with my parents, but even my parents, they're having to do everything. And I feel terrible. And I want to help them so bad. But I can't, when Uber Eats and Grubhub and DoorDash, all this stuff is the only stuff you can rely on, then it's so hard to do it right now. Because, for one, it's super saturated. Just because I feel like a lot of people are also in my position. Everybody is scrounging for money just to pay their bills, including myself. I have my recent bills as of right now that were taken out yesterday, or no, it was taken out today, but I had to reverse it because I just can't afford it. I can't afford anything right now, and it's all I want to do is just be able to pay my bills. I don't even spend money on myself. I literally only make money to pay my bills and food, if that. And I'm hoping the algorithm can push this out to other people who are also facing the same thing. just so they could also see that it's most of America is going through this. I can't remember the last time I was genuinely happy. And the only thing I can think of right now is the only way I could be happy is if I'm able to keep the roof over my head and just be able to pay my bills. I had bills that were just taken out for $500. I've been barely making that a month. I mean, I've been close to it, but I have so many bills that I can't manage it. And all I want is a job. You know, I just want a simple job. It doesn't have to deal with angry people all the time or angry customers or anything to do with, oh, the customer's always right, while they're yelling in your face and stuff. Like, I don't want that kind of job, because that's just going to make everything worse. Yeah, it's money, but you're not going to feel happy afterwards. But I hope this video gets out to some people.
I don't know anybody right now who isn't struggling financially. And I'm talking people who are employed, dual income households, people who make decent money, people who are not living outside of their means. Everyday people are struggling. People have maxed out credit cards, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 in debt. Same here. I know many of you can relate to this one. I've been unemployed for 4 months. I've been job searching every single day, relentlessly applying for hundreds of jobs at this point. And while I'm job searching, I'm also looking at contract and freelance work, and I'm also starting a side hustle. I'm opening an Etsy shop right now, and I'm just doing some little side hustles to make extra income, because at this point, everything counts. I'm just wondering, like, when is enough, because people every single day are struggling. They can't eat because they can't buy food. They can't fill their car. They can't go to work. Like, what do we do? Like, I don't know. Every single person at this point needs a side hustle, needs an extra job, working multiple jobs. Like, this is just wild. So I don't have a solution, just my little rant. And I know you guys can probably relate.
Some of you are struggling financially right now. You live in paycheck to paycheck. You're barely keeping your head above water. You're in massive amounts of debt because you keep buying stupid stuff you don't need to impress people you don't even know or like. And it's just silly, right? Not generous at all. Not investing in God's church, not investing in God's kingdom. And the reason that your finances are so broke right now is because you're not obeying God with your money. And I'm just telling you, if anything is ever going to change in that area of your life, you have to obey.
Moan, I just wanted to let you know that if you are struggling financially and you are finding yourself feeling depressed, just know that you are not by yourself. There are a number of clients that I'm seeing that are super depressed because of finances. You can be super overwhelmed from it. You can feel irritable. You can feel sad, withdrawn, lack of motivation, low energy. You can have thoughts of wanting to harm yourself, difficulty concentrating or focusing, overeating, undereating, oversleeping, undersleeping. I mean, the list goes on. There are certain situations, especially financial, that just keep tugging at you. They keep tugging at you because finances don't go away. And don't let something happen unexpected. So I'm trying to work on these bills and don't let my check engine light come on, because I'm like, hot damn, right? And the reality of it is, what the nerve is. The nerve is that these bills is due every month. They don't even let up. There ain't no, oh, we gave you a month off to catch up. No, bills is billing, gas is gassing, food is fooding. All these things continue to to go up. Have you noticed all the little emails? Oh, in February of 2024, this is going up. Everything is going up but our hourly rate. Now, if that doubled, some of us would be like, okay, but it's not, but everything else is going up. Just know that if you are feeling down because of that, know that it is okay to be frustrated about this. It is normal to be depressed about those things. It is okay to cry about it. It's okay to journal about it. It's okay to vent about it. It's okay to not be okay. Yes, we understand. Like, and if you're feeling super low, you might need to talk to a therapist. You might need to talk to a friend. You might need to incorporate some coping skills to help with that. But I just wanted people to know that it is a number of people who are super stressed right now because of finances. I just want you to know you are not by yourself. That there are a number of people feeling like this. And I want you to know that it is normal to feel depressed by that. Got it? Good.
Listen, man, I make over 30 an hour. I got a damn good paying job. Listen, if a nigga was to tell me at 18 years old, if a nigga said, yo, Diz, at the age of 36, you're gonna be making over $30 an hour and you're gonna be struggling, I would have laughed in his fucking face, man. For real. I would have laughed in his face. You couldn't have told me that at 18 years old. I would have thought that I'd be living like a king. I don't live outside my means. When I say I'm struggling, that's just to pay bills and to buy food. Inflation, the economy, everything is fucked up. There's no middle class anymore. We're literally the working poor. You have the working poor, and then you have the filthy, rotten fucking rich. Like, something needs to change. Something needs to give. We can't fucking live like this. This is not a way to live.
Someone has to be the one to break the cycle in your family. Why not you? Break the financial struggle cycle. And why not you be the example and the role model to everyone else in your family and your extended family as, hey, we can create wealth.
Okay, Millennials and Gen Z. Would love to hear your thoughts on that. Feel free to comment. Leave your comments for each and every live stream. Okay. So just want to share my wisdom with you, right? I'm 59 years of age. I'll be turning 60 years of age, May of 2025. So the first thing I like to share with you is Millennials and Gen Z. You can never give up. You cannot, under any circumstance. I know many of you are feeling like there's not light at the end of the tunnel, but you cannot give up, because when you give up and you quit, there's nothing to measure that against. There just isn't, right? And making adjustments in any economy is going to be key, and it's going to become pivotal in order for you just to survive. Because what ends up happening is your particular generations, you have more depression and anxiety than my generation had. Gen X, we were latchkey kids, and we had a very simple blueprint in Gen X from our parents. And people always ask me, what was your blueprint, Mr. Martin? What was your blueprint? Our blueprint, Gen X, 1965. Let me give you the Gen Xers, 1965 to 1980. Those are Gen X. That's the generation of Gen X. I was born in 1965. So I was the very first of Gen Xers, and the last of Gen Xers was 1980. So in that 15-year period, right, the blueprint we were given by our parents, figure the shit out. That's the blueprint we were given. Figure the shit out. So what ends up happening is, like my 4 adult daughters, rearing them, they didn't get the blueprint figuring this shit out. They had 2 parents that went to work every day. You have to go to work every day. Whether you're feeling it or not feeling it, it's got to be part of your grind. It's got to be part of your work ethic. You can't teach work ethic. You either have it or you don't. And if you don't have work ethic, it's going to be very, very difficult to maneuver in today's economy and the economies that are coming, right? Because every 5 years, like I said, that's the way I looked at life. Every 5 years, I expected something to happen in each economy, and it has never not happened. In each economy, every 5 years that I've lived, something major has happened, right? You can never save enough money. And yes, prices are high, right? Now, a lot of you feel like this is the worst economy. I can tell you, Gen X, being a Gen X, we felt it was the worst economy what we were going through. So I understand that. I definitely understand that. But you can't give up. You can't quit. Because if you give up and quit, right, the body has a defense mechanism to keep you from getting disease, to keep you from getting colds, to keep you from getting ailments. It just does. And the more anxiety and the more stress that you have on your system, the body's going to react. It is. And it can literally shut your body down. Making adjustments is the key of life. It is, right? I've stressed that to my daughters. Learning how to adjust is the key to life. Adjustments have to be made. Because if you're unwilling to adjust, it's not going to work out well for you. It's not going to end well for you, right? Your skill set, whatever your skill set is. Millennials and Gen Z, you have way more information today than we ever had in my generation of Gen X. You have access to the global world, the entire world. You can live on any continent. You don't have to stay in the United States of America. You do not. If you're feeling depressed here, if you're feeling like it ain't going on here, do your research. You can bounce. Got to have a passport, right? I've traveled the world extensively. I've been to 6 continents and 60 countries. So I know what the world provides. The only continent I haven't been to is the South Pole, Antarctica. That's the only continent I've been to. I've been to every other continent. Asia, right? Australia, Africa. We live in North America. I've been to South America. And what am I missing? I got them all. There's 7 continents. So yeah, I've been to 6 of the 7. And I can tell you, different countries, different cultures live different ways than Americans. Totally. America is the only place you're going to ever come and see everyone else from all parts of the world trying to get along and make it along. When you go to countries and you travel the world, totally different because they're the native of their countries. So I would encourage you, open up your mind, right? What are you going to be accepting of? Are you being honest with yourselves? Are you putting your best foot forward every day? Are you grinding hard every day? It's important because if you don't, you're going to be left behind. So you're going to have to learn how to make adjustments when it comes to the economy. Adjustments are needed and they're necessary because if you don't, they will crush you. This economy, it's tough. There's no doubt. It is very, very tough. But you can't quit. You can't give up. You can't accept it for what it is. You have to be able to do something about it because you're living through it. So you're either going to be victorious or you're going to become a victim. That's it. So for me, sharing my wisdom with you is to give you hope. That's what solutions are all about. You have to look within. It's okay to pray every day. It's okay if you have to fast to get clarity. It's okay. It really, really is. But be honest with yourself. Your skill set should be able to transfer regardless of whatever environment you're in when you're working. That's how you build capacity. Your skill set is all about building capacity. I've done everything I've ever wanted to do professionally in my life. I've made every call. I've done everything I've ever wanted to do. I've never been unemployed. Never. I started working when I was 8 years of age. 1973 was my first job. I used to pump gas for cars at a gas station. I remember being 8 years old, 1973. We can't go back to the 70s. That had never happened. Gas was only like 38 cents, 40 cents when I was a kid. That's never going to happen again. Right? So you have to adjust with the economy. You're going to have to learn how to adjust because if you don't, you're going to become victim. Right? But you got to keep your heads up. You got to keep your chest high. Right? You got to make things happen. Network amongst yourselves. The problem I see a lot with millennials and Gen Z, you're raised on the internet. Everyone is isolated. Nobody knows their neighbors. A lot of people don't talk. And that's just not good. Humans, we have to interact with each other, whether we want to or not, millennials and Gen Z. We do. It's to the betterment of humanity. It's to the betterment of us. You never know who you're going to meet. But if you don't network, you're never going to know, right? So for me, sharing my wisdom with millennials and Gen Z, that's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to try to tell you how to live your lives. But I've lived long enough. I've learned a little something in my 59 years of on this planet Earth. And I can promise you, as you get older, if you're struggling now in your 20s and 30s, by the time you become 40, a lot of folks just give up and they throw in the towel. They quit. Life is not supposed to be easy. Because if it was easy, everybody would be doing well. It's just not happening. You're always going to have, you're always going to have the haves and have-nots. That's what's going to happen. You're always going to have the rich and the poor. You're always going to have those who are stuck in poverty, right? Our government here in the United States, what people don't understand about the government, it's very simple. Their job is to govern. That's it. They don't owe us anything. They're not expected to give us anything. Their job is to govern the people. Now, when you think about being governed by the people, that ain't fair to a lot of ethnic groups here. It just isn't. But the government's job is not to save individual citizens. It's to govern the people, to make decisions what's in the best interest of the masses. It's not singular. Never has been, never will be. So I want to keep you encouraged, millennials and Gen Z. I get it. Trust me, I get it. Right? But you got to keep your heads up, chest out, confidence. Build it. Do it. You have access to everything. YouTube is a valuable resource for a lot of free stuff. Got to do the research, though. Education on YouTube is free. Tutorials are free. I've learned a lot just from live streaming. I watch a ton of videos. How do I get better at YouTube? I got to spend time looking at videos over and over and over again. I got to look at different content creators, see what they're doing, how they're doing it. Whatever works for me, I'll use it. If not, hey, I'll toss it to the side. But I have an open mind, though. I can learn from anyone. I can learn from a child. I can learn from a teen. I can learn from someone in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. I can learn. I've always considered myself being a student. I'm always in school because my mind is, I'm a free thinker. I raise my daughters to be free thinkers because you know what free thinkers do? We question everything. We don't accept anything. We question everything. That's what free thinking is. I want to see what your position is. I'm going to push you in a corner. You need to tell me why. You're just not going to tell me something crazy and I'm going to be like, oh, okay. Most people need to understand why. Okay, millennials and Gen Z. So that's all we're going to cover today. Sharing my wisdom podcast with Uncle E. That's what I'm here for. This is my commitment. I'm going to live stream every week. All right. Like I said, when you come across my YouTube channel, feel free to leave comments. I'm going to leave them posted. Right. Good vibes only. That's my only requirement for my YouTube channel. Good vibes only, man. Don't come over here with no foolishness and nonsense because I'll block you. I'm telling you right now, don't come over here with no foolishness and no nonsense because I'm here for you young people. All right? Appreciate you. All right, millennials and Gen Z. So I live stream once a week. And, I'll be back next week with another live stream. And we're going to be talking about the real at Sharing My Wisdom podcast with Uncle E. We are going to talk about the real. Solutions, though. Okay? solutions, though. All right, Millennials and Gen Z, I'm out until next week. I'll holla at you. Peace, love, happiness, and all that good stuff in between. I'm out. Peace.